All right, Age of Ultron is fastly approaching. It's like literally right around the corner. So let's get started and talk about the Marvel movies that I haven't reviewed yet. Starting with this one, Iron Man, the first one. All right, so Iron Man 1 is the start of what would later become the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it came out in 2008, and it was at a time where Marvel weren't making good movies. In fact, they from 2004 with Blade Trinity all the way to like 2008, they were making shit movies after shit movies after shit movies. You talk about Blade Trinity, Elektra, Fantastic Four, the second Fantastic Four, Spider-Man 3, Ghost Rider. Just it was just a the first Punisher, even though I think it's not that bad, but it was just an onslaught of bad movie after bad movie after bad movie, and Marvel had gotten sick of it, and they were like, we're gonna form our own studio. We're gonna do what we want to do with our characters. But the problem was they didn't have their big characters. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the X-Men or Spider-Man at the time because the X-Men are at Fox and Spider-Man was at Sony. Now he's kind of in Sony, kind of at Marvel. So they were just like, we're going to just get the characters we have the rights to, and we're going to make our big franchises out of all of them. And Iron Man was the first one. And I was crazy excited when I heard they would announce Iron Man 1, because I was like, oh cool, Iron Man, he's a cool superhero. I like Iron Man. He's cool. Then I heard Jon Favreau was gonna get directed, and I was like, really? Foggy Nelson from Daredevil directing it, and he did Elf and Zathura? Because I thought that was an interesting choice. And then you hear Robert Downey Jr. is gonna play Tony Stark, and I was like, I love Robert Downey Jr. He's a great actor, but Iron Man, it's weird. But looking back on it now, I feel like the biggest moron on the planet, because honestly, had none of those guys had come on to Iron Man, the movie would have fallen apart. You know what I mean? So Iron Man is all about this billionaire industrialist named Tony Stark, who's played by Robert Downey Jr., and he goes out all the way to the Middle East to test out this weapon that will help fight the wars better. All of a sudden he gets kidnapped by the Ten Rings, who, if you're a big comic book guy, you'll know what the Ten Rings represents. But basically what they do is they commission him to build him their missile, and he decides, he says to him he's going to do that, but in secret he's building a suit of armor. It's the Iron Man suit, and he's on this sort of like mission to redeem himself by becoming Iron Man. And all the while that's going on, you got Jeff Bridges, who plays Ironmonger, who's out on his own quest to become to get his own Iron Man suit, and that's kind of what the movie's about. I may be giving things away, but the movie is 7 years old at this point, and the rest of the cast falls into place quite nicely. I mean, Terrence Howard plays Rhodey, and I was like, okay, that's an awesome choice. And I think even though Rhodey isn't in this movie as much as he should have been, I thought Terrence Howard did a good job. Jeff Bridges I loved as Ironmonger. I want to see more of him, but I understand kind of why they cut a lot of his stuff out, because they want to focus more on Tony Stark than just Ironmonger. Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, that's the casting decision that to this day I was like, she's all right, I guess. But I always thought someone like Rachel McAdams could play Pepper Potts really well, because I love Rachel McAdams. She's a great actress, and I think she could have done Pepper Potts really well. The movie has so much cool Marvel Easter eggs. Like, at the time when the movie came out, I was like the only one in the theater that was like freaking out about it. You know what I mean? Because I was like the only one that caught into the references. But I feel like now that you've watched all Phase 1, and we're almost done with Phase 2, and you watch Iron Man 1 back, you can catch all the tiny references that you may have missed when you first saw on in the theaters. I thought it was pretty cool. The suits look great. The effects look insanely awesome. Like, one of the things I always respect about this was that the suits were practical, and yet they were also CG at the same time. You couldn't really tell which ones were which. In fact, you look on like the DVD where they explain the effects, it's hard to tell which ones were the practical suit and which ones were the digital suit. And that is genius filmmaking right there, man. I'll admit, probably the weakest link of this movie is the action. The action is fine, it's serviceable, but it's nothing that really blows your mind. You're not gonna sit, you don't sit there in your chair and just go like, holy fucking shit, dude, that was awesome, you know? You're just like, oh wait, that was cool, that was cool, that was cool, but nothing really blows you away, especially the climax of the movie. It didn't really blow me away as I really felt like it needed to. That's probably, I think, one of the weakest parts about Favreau's directing in terms of when he did Iron Man 1 and 2 is that the action never really got to its full potential, you know what I mean? But other than that, I think Iron Man 1 is an incredible movie. It started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you had the perfect actor for the perfect role. You had the right director who took on the material so well. I love this movie. It's hilarious. It's got a lot of heart in some scenes, and it's just it's a blast, man. And you know, I look back on 2008 as the year, well, actually, the summer of 2008 as the summer where we had the perfect comic book movies. You know what I mean? We had Iron Man, we had Incredible Hulk, we had Dark Knight, obviously, and Hellboy 2, and even Wanted for that matter. It was a cool summer, man. But yeah, Iron Man 1. I'm gonna give Iron Man 1 a 9. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. But that is all I can say about Iron Man 1, and I will give you my Iron Man 2 review in the coming days. I'm speeding through these reviews as fast as I can, man. All right, but yeah, that's